What's up, family? Man, I bless each and every one of you. May God continue to guide you, keep you, comfort you, aid you in your growth and development, as well as the healing stage of your life. Family, I want to continue our series on the 22 Arcana cards in the tarot deck. And today we're going to talk about the Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune. Man, it's a beautiful card, and there's so many things depicted in this card we're really not going to get into. We're just going to talk about the overall meaning of the Wheel of Fortune. Stay with me. This is going to get deep. This is going to get deep, I promise you. So many of us, we when we get tarot cards drawn on us, we want this card. You know what I mean? This is one of the cards that we want. Why? Because of the beautiful meaning attached to it, of what people say the card means. And it's that, but it's so much deeper than that. What am I talking about? When you get this card drawn, it stands for, good luck, karma, life cycles, destiny. It's a turning point. Just all kinds of positive stuff. You know what I mean? And that's great. You know what I mean? That's great, but it's deeper than that. I'm gonna start off with a story. A young man is a story of in ancient China where a young man fell and broke his leg. And the community came and, man, they were all apologetic to the father. And it's like, man, I can't believe, such bad luck has happened to you. Man, this is a sign. This is an omen. This is, bad fortune for you, and just all this other stuff. And the father looked at them in, stunning belief, like, what are you talking about? How can you say that my son breaking his leg is bad fortune? How can you say that, man, this is an omen from God, that we've done something wrong? Stay with me. We're going somewhere. I promise you that. A little while later, the Chinese military was gathering young men to go to war. And they came to the father's house, to the community, and they gathered all the young men to go out to war. But this young man couldn't go to war. He had a broken leg. And they took all the other young men from the community, everyone except for the young boy or the young man that broke his leg. And the father smiled, was like, man, see, look, because your broken leg, you're allowed to stay here. When everybody else's son got to go out to war, and the great majority of them we know are not coming back. The great majority are going to die out on that battlefield. And your life has been spared because of your broken leg. What's that got to do with us? So many of us, and what the card doesn't depict is, what the card doesn't say, and what people don't say is that you're going to go through some losses. You know what I mean? You're going to go through some stuff that you're going to have to give up on. There's going to be some things that happen in life that, man, you don't necessarily agree with. And it seems as though you're losing. It seems as though, man, bad luck has hit you. We're going somewhere, I promise you that. So many of us, we've had people walk out of our lives. We've gone through failed relationships or whatever the case may be. We've gone through some things that appeared initially to be bad luck, appeared initially to be, man, what the fuck is going on? You know what I mean? Every time I take a step forward, this shit happens. You know what I mean? I take 2 steps forward and ended up taking 5 steps backwards. Stay with me. We're going somewhere. I'm here to tell you that you have to grow up emotionally and understand the Wheel of Fortune is in your life. It's in every one of our lives. We are on this circle. We're on this cycle. Every single one of us. Good things are going to happen to us. Things that things appear to come across as good. And things that don't appear to be so great are going to happen to you. Every single one of us. The question is, how are you going to respond to it? That's key. It ain't what happens to you. It's how do you respond to it? Are you going to become so negative and so toxic and so hateful and so distrusting of women or dudes that have walked out of your life, that treated you like crap, that sabotaged the relationship or whatever it is that you were in? Or are you going to be so negative, so bitter, so twisted over what happened to you that you're going to miss the big picture? You're going to miss the blessings that you could have gotten. And what I've had to learn, because I've had women walk out of my life. You know what I mean? I've had things that fall apart that, man, I didn't want to happen. Lost everything in California, sleeping in my Silverado truck. But because I lost everything in California, it's easy for me to just pick up and, man, I'm moving. I'm starting new. I'm starting fresh. It is what it is. The problem with all of us, or the great majority of us, is we have this tie to shit. We're stuck to the shit. To the shit we've amassed, the stuff in our house. Our titles, our degrees, our jobs, our positions, we're stuck to that shit. We're stuck to our relationships. And what I mean stuck to, sometimes those things are just for that season of your life. Because you don't know any better. You thought it was for a lifetime. You thought this person was supposed to be in your life forever. You thought you was going to keep, and you're supposed to keep all this stupid shit you've amassed. And what this card is showing is like, nah, time out. Why are you trapped to that stuff? Why are you trapped to that relationship? Why are you trapped to that job? We're going to get deep. And oftentimes, God, universe, source, is saying, come here. I want you to learn how to see the big picture. Stop being fixated on what's going on around you. Stop being fixated on your circumstances. So often, so many of us, we see people and we see them just coming out of a relationship that they wanted. We see them with their hearts broken, crushed, and all this other stuff. And we think, damn, they're not connected to God. And man, they just lost their job and they're not in alignment. And then we think all this stupid shit. Because we don't know the true fucking story. There's a story in the Bible talking about Job, and I talk about this a lot. The story of Job. Job hadn't done anything wrong. Job was a righteous man according to God. And yet Job, all of his money was stripped from him. All of his kids died. His health failed him. And here come his fucking quote unquote friends. Here come his raggedy ass wife. Curse your God and die. Here come his toxic ass friends who don't know any fucking better, who are religious to the fucking 10th degree. Oh, you must have did something wrong, and you had to do something wrong. You had to be unfair in your treatings of others, and you had to take advantage of somebody financially, and all this other stupid shit people say. When you're going through this period of loss, when things don't appear to be working out for you, and the whole time, Job lost his kids, he lost his money, lost his health. His friends showed their quote-unquote true nature. Job was sitting there talking to God. And in the end, Job was blessed with far more than what he had. All the kids he lost, he had double that, or he had more than that. All the money he had, the great wealth he had, he's blessed with twice that much. Why? Because Job was a righteous man. Because that was part of Job's fortune. That was part of Job's lot in life. Just like it's our lot in life. But the problem is, if that happens to us, we get so toxic, so bitter, so angry. Fuck these bitches and fuck these sorry ass dudes and da-da-da. We become so angry and bitter. We become so hateful. We become so fucking self-righteous and judgmental. We want to tear everybody else down. Talking about the wheel of fortune. Never understanding that the person that walked out of your life, never understanding that the person who broke your spirit and crushed you and all that other crazy shit that they did, God has something better for you. God has more for you. But God can't give you that more until he takes that which no longer serves you. So in order to get the more, you got to give up what you have. But because we have this lack mentality, because we have this, man, there's not enough. Because we operate in fear. When we lose things or things are taken from us, we assume I'll never have another person like that again. I'll never find a queen like that again. I'll never find a king like that again. I'll never meet somebody that loved me and da-da-da and all this other crazy shit again. And as long as you operate on that frequency, on that vibration, you never will. You never will. I hate to be the bearer of bad news. You could pray all you want to. You could fast all you want to. You could go out and date everybody you want to. You're never going to find somebody like that again. Because you're on the wrong vibration. You're on the wrong frequency. Again, going back to this card. The wheel of fortune. Life is cyclical. It's a circle. There's seasons of abundance and seasons of lack, or seasons of drought. We've got to grow the fuck up and understand this. Just because you're going through a drought don't mean that God ain't operating in your life. Just because you're going through a season of lack does not mean that God is not blessing you. It does not mean that you're not in alignment. God has to take the stupid, toxic shit, or it don't even have to be toxic. The person you're connected to now may not be the person you need to have in your life in your next season. We've got to grow the fuck up and understand this. The job, the house, the car that you have now may not be the one that you need in your next season. And it is what it is. It's all good. Everything is always working out for me. Everything is always working out for you when you're in alignment with God. But you believe because there's drought in your life, because you believe there's lack in your life, that, man, I'm not in alignment with God. God don't like me. God don't love me. God don't fuck with me. And that's bullshit. You have the wrong perspective of life. You have the wrong perspective of God. You got to grow the fuck up and understand that. I remember when my wife passed away in 2015. How that crushed me. How that was so fucking devastating. I was in California. Had she not passed away, I would have never went to China for 3.5 months. Had she not passed away, I would have never left California. Had she not passed away, I would have never met the young lady that I moved to New York for. You got to catch this. You got to understand this. Got to take people out your life so that you can continue your journey and do all that you came here to do. And got here to New York in a relationship with this beautiful young lady. She decided to leave. The only person I really knew here in New York, the only reason I was here in New York. So I thought. After she left, man, I was homeless. Everything was turned upside down. It seemed as though, man, I didn't have shit but fucking bad luck. Homeless, sleeping on a train. That same year, when she left, I went from being homeless to having my own place. I went from being homeless and sleeping on a train to being able to pay for myself to go to Egypt and go on a cruise up the Nile. A couple years after that, earlier this year, I was able to go to Singapore, Thailand, Bali, places I've always wanted to go to. I'm not sharing this to flex or floss or any of that stupid shit. I'm sharing this to tell you, man, you could go through something quote unquote bad and it really be good for you. You could go through something that's devastating to you. And if you stay in alignment, keep the right perspective, stay connected to God, universe, source, the Most High, watch how everything turns out. Come out the Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune is always present in your life. The problem is we don't see it because we're constantly looking at the circumstances. We're fixated on the circumstances. And so we can't see. And we're not in alignment. We're not on the right frequency. We're not on the right vibration to be able to see the beautiful woman, the beautiful man, the beautiful opportunities that God has in store for you. Because we've lowered our vibration. We're stuck in our fear and our pain, our suffering, our traumas. Yeah, I've shared with you guys, man, I've lost a lot. I've cried a lot. I've suffered a lot. But I've been blessed a lot too. I've gained a lot too. And I've had to grow up and understand, man, okay, man, it is what it is. Just because this relationship didn't work doesn't mean that there's not a queen for me. Just because this relationship didn't work doesn't mean there's not a king for you. Now God got you right where he wants you. I would have never came to New York. I never wanted to visit New York. At all. When I got here, I saw how God was opening up all these doors. 3 days after I got here, I met a man who connected me with the right person to get a city job. 3 days after getting to New York, just went out on the beach, looking at the water. Saw a man out there working. Stood around chopping it up with him for over an hour and a half. I would have never met him had I never came here. I would have never came here had I never met her. Been in New York 3 years. I've rescued 4 people from drowning in the water out here. I would have never been there had I never came here. We have to learn to take a step back and look how everything is connected. We got to learn to take a step back, get outside of our feelings, and see the big picture. I've met so many beautiful people here. Been promoted after promotion after promotion since I've been here. After the loss of that relationship. We have to grow up. Just because it looks bad doesn't mean it is bad. Just because it looks good don't mean it's good. You got to learn to have discernment. And sometimes God's not going to give you the answer until you need the answer. And you're only able to see it after the fact. What I'm saying, going back to the story, a young man who had a broken leg. It was only after war kicked off, only after everybody was rounded up and taken off the battle, did the reason come as to why his leg was broke. Then he understood. Then everybody else understood. It ain't always what it seems. Life is not always what it seems. And we have to grow up and understand that. Yes, you may be going through a season of drought now. Does not mean that's your lot in life. Does not mean you're going to always be in drought. Does not mean you're always be without. You may not have anybody in your life right now. You may feel kind of lonely and depressed and frustrated because you're a good person, you're a loving person, you're a nurturing person, you're a compassionate person, you're an understanding person, an attentive person. You got all these great attributes and things that it's great for a relationship. But God has you right where you're supposed to be. You are where you're supposed to be. The question is, can you appreciate it? The question is, can you get in alignment with God and be like, okay, God, man, it is what it is. I'm not tripping. I'm grateful, I'm thankful for where I am. I'm grateful and thankful for what I have. There's a season for everything. And I get that now. I understand that now. I'm no longer trying to control shit. Because I understand the cycles. I understand. We try to control shit because that comes from that fear of loss. We try to control shit because that comes from that fear of that lack mentality. We try to control shit because we really don't believe that we deserve this. We don't really believe that it's going to last. And so we try to micromanage and control our life and everything attached to our life. Because we've been hurt in the past. Because we've been disappointed in the past. Because we've been let down in the past. Because we've been abandoned and rejected in the past. And we've never really healed from it. And so now we respond to life by being control freaks. We respond to life by fuck it, I just don't give a fuck no more. I don't care. Nobody's ever gonna love me. Nobody's ever gonna value me. Nobody's ever gonna see me. Nobody's ever gonna really appreciate me. And it is. It is what it is. You see what you want to see. You see what you want to see in life. Man, we have to grow up. We have to understand, man, it's all good. I ain't got to fight. I ain't got to politic. I ain't got to kiss nobody's ass. I ain't got to do none of that stupid ass shit. I just got to have the right perspective. I just got to stay on the right vibration, the right frequency. And it's all good. It's all good. Whether you choose to stay or leave, man, it don't matter to me. Because if you choose to leave, I know God got better. You know what I mean? If something leaves me, my life, or something falls apart, something doesn't happen the way I want it to happen, man, it's all good. That just means that that door is closing. And God's opening up another door, another opportunity, a greater door. But we see the door closing and we take it personal. We see the door closing and we get traumatized by it again. We see the door closing and we get triggered by it again. Because we haven't grown up emotionally. We haven't grown up spiritually. And it is what it is. I hope and pray that says something to encourage you, to inspire you, to challenge your way of thinking. I love you guys. Happy healing. Peace.